again, everyone. I'm Paul. Excuse there. Little adjustment here. Hello again, everyone. I'm Paul, the Nitro Skywers, and welcome to another edition of the Nitro Corner. Today is Saturday, and it's time for our big Saturday night extravaganza. And we'll start off with part 2 of our weekend report. We'll start off with the Smackdown report, and then the Nitro Top 10 for this week. So let's get started with the Smackdown report. Last night, Teddy Long comes out there and announces a milestone for Smackdown. They are now second on the all-time list of longest reigning TV shows on cable television as well as national television. Kudos to Smackdown. They passed Gunsmoke. Woohoo! Who cares about Gunsmoke, really? But congratulations to Smackdown. You're about an infinity mile away from passing Monday Night Raw, which is on the top of that list. And of course, it would not be complete without John Laurinaitis, Road Warrior Animal's brother, the new interim general manager of Raw. Well, I express my sentiments as the interim general manager of Raw to celebrate this milestone. Shut up, Laurinaitis. You're an idiot, as far as I'm concerned. And if you want to know my true feelings about that, check out part 1 of the weekend report from last night. Well, Theodore Long then announced that there would be a battle royal to determine who will face either Alberto Del Rio or Mark Henry, whoever that person chooses at the end of the night for their respective title. Well, Laurinaitis decides to take the credit. Well, it was my credit that I formed this battle royal. Shut up, you idiot. You did not form that battle royal and you know it. You jerk. Whatever. Anyway, I take offense to the fact that they called it all night the biggest battle royal ever in WWE history, which is a complete lie. It is a lie. And I will try to prove it. Believe it or not, I'll try to find that for next week's Classic Match of the Week, and I'll prove it to you. There was once a 60-man battle royal, I think back in 1992. That was the largest battle royal in WWE history. Not last night where it was 40 men. No, come on, people. It's not the largest battle royal in history. Well, anyway, it was a pretty decent battle royal, and it was a very close finish as Randy Orton eliminated The Miz to pick up the win. He RKO'd him off the apron to the floor. Miz's back of his foot hit first. Orton wins the battle royal, and then he obviously chose Mark Henry to wrestle for the world's heavyweight title. That would be the main event on SmackDown. Next up, Beth Phoenix scored a victory over Kelly Kelly after ramming her head into the ring post and then pick her up for the Glam Slam. It was a pretty good match, actually. Kelly Kelly really took it to Beth Phoenix. I'm telling you, this situation is going to heat up between those two women. Next up, Sin Cara Negra attacks Sin Cara Azul back in the dressing room, rams him into the rolling suitcase, so to speak, or rolling treasure chest. And then after that, he comes in there, rips the mask off of Sin Cara Azul, and then Sin Cara Negra puts on that mask as if he is Sin Cara. Well, I guess that situation is far from over. Speaking of which, Sin Cara Negra was in action. He defeated Justin Gabriel with a senton splash. Next up, in a pretty good matchup, Alberto Del Rio barely got by Sheamus thanks to Christian's interference. I'm telling you, Sheamus is going to be kicking Christian's rear end all over the building when he gets his hands on him. Next up, Theodore Long made a ruling since Evan Bourne was injured this past Monday night. He could not compete in the tag team match this evening, so Zack Ryder, Long Island Ice-T himself, Zack Ryder, would take his place as he and Kofi Kingston defeated Dolph Ziggler and actually lost to, they beat Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger in that tag team matchup. Congratulations to that team. Next up, the main event of the evening saw Randy Orton defeat Mark Henry by disqualification because of Cody Rhodes' interference. Cody tried to put the bag on him again, but then the Big Show comes out there and lays down some heavy-duty smack on Mark Henry's candy ass. And then Randy Orton took care of Cody Rhodes with an RKO to end the show. And that was Smackdown for this past week. My opinion, Smackdown was an okay show with the Battle Royal. Not the biggest Battle Royal, I might add, in the history of the WWE, but a pretty good Battle Royal nonetheless. It was a pretty interesting show. Well, now that that's out of the way, it's time for the Nitro Top 10. A pretty interesting Top 10 for this week, so let's get started. Number 10 is the Great White North himself, Sheamus. Sheamus took John Cena to a no contest and barely lost to Alberto Del Rio. Had him beat when Christian interfered. So Sheamus still on a roll in my mind in the WWE. Number 9 is the WWE Champion Alberto Del Rio. Yeah, Del Rio left CM Punk high and dry Monday night, but he came back Friday to defeat Sheamus thanks to Christian's interference. And he has our biggest tumbler, though, last week in the number 1 position, now dropping 8 spots to number 9. Number 8 is Mason Ryan. Mason was very impressive in the 6-man victory this past Monday night and was one of the final 20 in the Battle Royal on Friday. Number 7 is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. He and Rob Van Dam defeated Christopher Daniels and Jerry Lynn this past Thursday on Impact. And now he faces Jerry Lynn in an I Quit match at Bound for Glory. Number 6 is Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan defeated Samoa Joe this week in a one-on-one matchup. Great victory for Matt Morgan. Excuse me. Number 5 is Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson not only defeated... Who did he beat this week? I keep forgetting that. Sorry about that, Mr. Anderson. He defeated Scott Steiner. Not only did he defeat Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, but he actually broke up a member of Immortal, as Abyss is no longer a member of Immortal, even though he got put through a table. Mr. Anderson was victorious this past week. Number 4, retaining her spot this week on the countdown, is Beth Phoenix. She defeated Kelly Kelly in a very tough contest this past Friday to keep the Divas Championship. Number 3 this week is CM Punk. He survived being abandoned by Alberto Del Rio to earn himself a disqualification win over The Miz and R-Truth. Number 2 this week is Robert Roode. Robert Roode is ready for Bound for Glory as he defeated Jeff Jarrett and Gunner this past week in a handicap match. And now, in making our biggest climb of the week, we have a brand new number 1 wrestler this week, moving up 7 spots from last week. That's right, he is the Viper, Randy Orton. He won a 40-man Battle Royal and nearly defeated Mark Henry to become World Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations to Randy Orton, back again on top in the Nitro Top 10. And that is it for this edition of the Nitro Corner. Don't forget, later on tonight, my special edition of the Classic Match of the Week, featuring the top 5 tag teams of all time. And then tomorrow, the booking sheet returns for the Bound for Glory. Until then, I'm Paul the Nitro Scover saying we'll see you later tonight for the Classic Match of the Week. So long, everybody.